welcome back to another Sims 4 stop motion speed build. This is Megan, aka Simply Simmer, and this week's build is inspired by Nickelodeon's Drake and Josh. So as you saw at the start of the video, I started with the treehouse that Drake and Josh had to rebuild for their neighbor and forgot to place a door on. That's one of my favorite episodes for sure. Moving to the front of the house, this part actually took me the longest to put together. I think the house is actually a little bit wider, but I could only work with so much to make it match the interior. I used the trees from Island Living in the front yard to kind of recreate those big round trees that they have in the show. Moving inside, we first see the foyer area, and this is the first screenshot with Audrey and Walter. I do have a Create a Sim video coming for all of the characters as well, so make sure to check the description to watch that one. Up next, we have the dining room. I actually really like how in their house they have these little nooks around the outer walls that really open up the room and give it more depth. I did place a fish tank here as well, even though it's only shown in the first few episodes. The next area is the living room, which is still in the same room as the dining area, just on the other side. This space is most often used for Josh playing video games or for Megan to plot her evil pranks on her brothers. They do have a phone on the end table in this show, but since phones aren't an option in the game anymore, I had to leave it out for this build. The next space is the pass-through between the kitchen and the living room. I actually raised up a room divider on top of the counter to make it look like shutters. Next, we're moving into the kitchen. They have a double wall oven, so I had to get creative to recreate that. I used two of the dishwashers from the Dine Out pack stacked on top of each other. For the open door, I placed a slanted wall and placed the door on it, and then deleted the wall and used Move Objects to slide it up against the doorway. Now we're moving back across the house to get out to the garage. I based it off the episode where Drake and Josh are babysitting Walter's boss's baby. I hope one day we have drivable cars in the game, because anytime I build a garage, it's basically just an extra room that isn't even usable. It's just a decorative room. But anyway, I made sure to place instruments for Drake's band to practice with, and we get to see Drake playing guitar here as well. By the way, I do have a lot of different builds from TV shows and movies on my channel, so if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so and ringing the bell so you can always stay up to date on my latest videos. Also, after this video, make sure to check out my build of the premiere movie theater from Drake and Josh. I have that along with my other social media pages listed in the description below the video. Back to the build, we're now upstairs and moving into Megan's room. Her room is shown during the episode with the Peruvian puff pepper, and it's also when we discover that Megan has a secret monitor on the wall to watch Drake and Josh's every move. I believe the screen that I used to replicate it came from the Strangerville pack. She has a big unicorn poster covering it up, but I wasn't able to make that work, so I just left it open. I couldn't find an episode with Walter and Audrey's room, so I left it out of the stop motion build. So that brings us to the most popular room of the house, Drake and Josh's room. Their room is actually really huge. There's an entire living space along with room for both beds. The back wall is never shown since it's the fourth wall of the set, so I just loaded it up with a ton of posters. On the other side of the room, I used the newspaper wall covering from the Strangerville pack on Josh's side and left open drywall on Drake's side. The walls actually changed throughout the series, but overall it kind of looks unfinished, so I used both of these to create that unfinished look. It took me a while to figure out how I was going to make Drake's bed, since there isn't a way to put a foundation on an upper level and he has that raised bed. I ended up placing bookshelves, and then I sized up a table to use that as a base for the bed. So that just about wraps it up for this build. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment on your favorite part of the build. Make sure to check out the other videos in my Drake and Josh series as well, and I'll see you next time. Bye!